AI has been everywhere, and it's gotten to the point where it's being plastered and just slapped on everything, rubber stamped and put on everything. What does it actually do? Right? What? Because now it's just like a different type of search engine at this point. Joining us on 710 KURV, an expert on AI, is Matt Rosen, and he knows all about AI. I feel like we've come a long way from this magical world of what AI is to now the reality of what it actually can and can't do. Because I mean, you see the realistic, lifelike pictures and of things that are of impossible scenarios, and then you use it yourself, and you're like, "What is this? Why why is it not working the way it's supposed to be working?" So let's get an idea. Let's go back to the beginning and let's talk about what AI actually is.
Hey, good afternoon. Thanks for having me on the show. So, the concept of artificial intelligence really came up in the 50s, and you had, computers trying to beat humans at chess. And over time, there have been lots of different AI theories that have been created. And it seems like every generation there's this promise of AI that never comes true, and people get disappointed. It kind of goes away again. But now with the computing power that's out there, AI has really come on the scene in a big way. With the launch of ChatGPT back in November 2022, fastest thing to ever reach 100 million users. Proliferation of cloud computing and internet and smartphones. Everyone's got access to it that's got a connection to the internet. And, it is really hyped up in the media. You see it everywhere. And every software and technology company has AI somewhere in their offering because they're hoping that'll get them recognized. But ultimately, what this technology is really great at is automating routine tasks. It's great at synthesizing information and creating insights. And it's great at creating content, whether it be a starting point for an email or a song or a video or a picture, but it requires a human to make it better. Humans put in the input, which is the data. Data is the differentiator, and it gives you back as good information as you put in and what you ask of it. And so we're seeing a lot of practical applications starting to come into the business world, as well as a proliferation of people using it in their personal lives.
You know what was interesting is I watched this guy on Twitch. His name is Thor. He was a former programmer at Blizzard, and he does this Twitch stream pretty much every day. But he is so knowledgeable about programming and software and game design and just all these different software languages and how the business works and how the industry works. He was talking about I think you and I have talked about this in the past, where you can just the idea of giving AI a prompt for software so it can type out a program for you and just spit it out, but you can't really do that. what I what he was saying was it's actually easier for a developer to just write his own script rather than it is to correct the one that the AI spits out. I mean, how far off is that
Yeah,
statement?
it depends if you're starting from scratch. So obviously, Leda is a technology consulting firm, and a large part of what we do is write custom software for clients. And we have trained all of our developers on the latest AI tool sets. GitHub Copilot is the one we use the most. And we are seeing 50% productivity gains because what AI is doing for our developers is it's writing some baseline code that is foundational, boring things. It's also writing test cases, which most software developers don't like to test their codes. You have a whole different group of people that do that, and then it's writing documentation so you know what the code does. And so by having those three key elements, our developers are able to work like 50% faster. It's been absolutely game changing for the ones that have really grabbed it and embraced it. What's interesting is now clients are asking, hey, you're using AI, you should be able to develop more code. But the way we look at it is, what is the output? What is the quality output, and then are people happy? And we look at those three components, and if those three are in line, that means AI is doing a good job. In fact, we use it to help in our review process. We're big believers in growing our people. We review everyone twice a year, and it takes a lot of time to gather feedback and synthesize that into a meaningful review. And we were able to use AI, and we had to train it. It took some work, but we took 75% out of the time it took to write reviews, so people got reviewed more accurately, more timely, and the people writing them didn't have to spend near the amount of time they'd spent in the past putting them together. So it really has made a huge difference in our business internally. And now we're really looking to help clients survey their landscape and figure out where could AI be most beneficial to them.
Joining us on 710 KURV, Matt Rosen is the CEO and founder of Aleda. It's a technology consulting firm helping automate companies through AI, and we're talking about the role of AI. So, I mean, I'm glad you're saying that there are many viable applications that AI has right now, because to me, from what I've seen, it's like either super awesome or it's worthless. It's been kind of a crapshoot from people's different experiences, and I understand that it has to do with the way you implement it and how versed you are in giving the AI the prompt. But I saw an idea. I can't remember what company it was. An AI mouse, where there's an AI button on the mouse, and you hit the button, and like a prompt comes up, and you just like it's almost like a glorified search engine with some applications. Does AI kind of get out of hand, or I should say, the marketing of AI get out of hand sometimes?
Well, I think it's the marketing gets out of hand. Well, remember Clippy, the
Oh,
little paper clip that was supposed to help navigate you around all the
oh,
Microsoft
that's a
applications.
throwback.
Yeah. So yeah, I think what you're seeing is a lot of marketing hype, and you see a lot of applications of AI that probably aren't all that relevant. And that's one of the things we're really trying to help our clients, like, understand, look across their business and understand what are the best business cases for its implementation. And there's a lot of different models out there to choose from. And one of the things organizations need to recognize is which ones are going to be safe and secure, because you don't want to upload, corporate and sensitive and personal data to a model that's open to everyone and everything. So it's like with every new technology. When electricity came out, it took 2 generations to adopt it. When the internet came out, I'd argue it's taken a generation to adopt it, and really COVID accelerated its acceptance. I think with AI, we're still early days. We're like 18 months in. So I think it's going to take us the next 5 to 10 years to really incorporate it into our daily lives, and for people to embrace it, for it to become part of workflows. And there's going to be a lot of jobs that probably never use AI. But if you're a knowledge worker and you're in front of a computer every day, I think it's incumbent upon you to begin to understand how AI works. And organizations need to implement people like a chief AI officer that can help really just keep ahead of things and implement standards and figure out how their organizations are going to use it, how their workers are going to use it, what their training is going to look like, and how they're ultimately going to adopt it and be successful with it.
I feel like a lot of this, just like everything else in the tech world, is garbage in, garbage out. We hear about AI hallucinations, and that's what drives some of these errors. And sometimes when AI feeds off of AI, it just leads to more and more of these hallucinations and stuff. But as the technology develops, I'm sure that this is going to help a lot more people once we figure out what's going on with it. Davey has his hand up for a question. Go ahead, Davis.
Um, well, where can we go? Assuming people don't know anything, which is probably a pretty good assumption, starting with me, where can you go to read about this or to experience it so you can get up to speed? Because you and Zach are having a bro moment, and I think most listeners don't really know. And they say it's gonna take our job. So what do you think? So where can we go? What can we read?
Yeah, AI is not coming for your job, but someone who's really skilled in AI might be coming for your job. And you can go, Google's got a lot of information out there. There's some free courseware on LinkedIn. If your organization has any type of learning management system, there's probably courses out there around AI. And I recommend just going out to Chat GPT. It's under OpenAI, and just open it up and start typing things to it. Don't give it your social security number, your driver's license, but ask it questions. Ask it to help you craft an email or a letter, and just get familiar with it. I try and use it every day for something, and I have the built-in Office tools. So when I write an email, I might have AI check it and see what it thinks and see if it could make it stronger or better. And as you get to learn how to use it, you can say, hey, I want you to write me a letter, and I want it to be empathetic, and I want you to hit on these points. And the more you see it return to you, the better you get at prompting the AI with what you're looking for. And that has to do with creating a text or a message or things like that. But the concepts are similar if you're creating a picture or a video. So there's a lot of resources out there. Most of them are free, but a lot of it just comes down to being curious and experimenting. And as for the hallucinations you mentioned, these models have been getting a lot better about eliminating some of those. That was prevalent in some of the early models. They're getting better. But yeah, data is the differentiator. If you put in good data, you're going to get good data out. And a lot of organizations are actually training these models, to give them exactly what they want. They can, license them and have them, privately available to make sure their data is secure, and train them at getting better at what they do, and then arm their, workforce with instructions on how to use them. So hopefully that's helpful and kind of where to get going.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, Matt, where can we get more information on Aleda?
Yeah, you can go to www.aleda.com. We've actually got an ebook around artificial intelligence and how to incorporate it in your business. If you fill out a form online, give us just a little bit of information. There's also some case studies out there that organizations we've worked with. And then I'm also on LinkedIn. If you look me up, Matt Rosen Aleda, you'll find me, and feel free to send me a request, and would love to continue the dialogue. And as always, appreciate being on the drive home this afternoon. So thanks for having me on the show.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Matt, thanks for joining us again. That's Matt Rosen, AI expert, joining us on News Talk 710 KURV.